we're doing.
It's all right. First off, yeah, because like I said, I lost all recordings and stuff from last week. So Full Metal Jacket, just scored.
Yeah, I think I said 8.
I'll give it an 8. I enjoyed it way more than I remembered. 7 for you, Johnny, and 8 for you, right? Fight Club, 3, 2, 1.
We all went 10.
Yeah, we all went 10, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah. Thelma and Louise, 4.
I think I said 7 for that.
4.
I was a 6.
No, you went higher than that, Johnny.
A 7?
That's what she said.
You went 7 and I went 6.
Yes, that was it.
Like Gladiator, I know I went 7. Guys?
I went 8 for
I was
sure.
still 6 or 7, wasn't I? 7?
7, yeah, right, cool. And Ratatouille was last week as well, wasn't it? I should get that. I remember I gave it that 6.
I think I went 6.
Yeah, I can't remember 6.
Johnny
No,
went
I
10.
I didn't give it 10.
Right, okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Right, so obviously Fight Club is way in the lead with 100% record. Blitzing the opposition out of there. Full Metal Jacket got somewhere near... Our Full Metal Jacket's on its own with 70% near Castaway, which is about right. Thelma and Louise, 57. Puts it in the region like Dead Poet Society, Avatar. Nice. Gladiator, the same, 70. That puts it... I'm surprised Gladiator came down there, man, I must admit. Ratatouille and Gladiator. Ratatouille, 63. Yeah. Ratatouille puts it in Bambi and Avatar. Which is about right.
Yeah, no, it all sounds about right to me.
Yep.
I agree. Wait, Into the Wild. Johnny seems to... let's get this out of the way. It seems you haven't watched it. Johnny, what do you think of Into the Wild?
And the BBC have just moved it, haven't they, out of the wild?
Yeah, did you see the article? That was a coincidence. I just woke up.
Yeah, they just shifted the bus.
Yeah.
I'm just very annoyed.
Have you ever watched it, Johnny? Or have you just not watched it again?
No, I've never watched it. I wanted to watch it and Sarah fancied it. And of course, that means you've then got to sit and go, all right, Sarah, we'll sit down and watch it. And then never get around to actually watching it. So we just haven't watched it yet. So I'll have to give my score at the next quick throw up.
Window. All right, fair enough. Well, Phil, do you want to go then?
Yeah. Well, it's just all right, isn't it? It's an interesting story. I watched it after reading the book and buying the album. So I got the album before I got the film, and I think the film pales against the album to me. I like the film. I thought it was interesting. Chris McCandless, dude who decides to go wander into the wild, eats a plant he shouldn't have, and dies a fairly grisly death. There you go, Johnny. You don't need to watch it.
There's a bit more to it than that. There's the whole examination of, like consumerism and versus,
Yeah, I mean, there's all. Yeah, if you want to get all deep about it, Paul.
Well, that's what we're here for. Review it and that.
Well, there's a bloke in it, and then there's that other bloke, and then he dies.
Avatar is like a blue guy shoots shit. That was it, really. It was done.
There's 3 or 4 blue guys.
No, I don't remember us going into that level of detail about Avatar. I don't know, you must have been thinking about a different call.
Yeah. I was talking about Destiny.
It's a good story. It's a good story. It's a true story. And but it's one of those ones for me where it's not. They don't quite deliver on it against the book. I thought the book was much better.
Well, that was what I was going to ask you, because I've never read the book, and I can almost feel that you've got a bit more of an attachment to it from the fact that there's a good book behind it. And do you know what? I even watch it. I remember in the film, because I didn't rewatch it, but I watched it once, and it stuck with me in a way, for the reasons I'll say in a bit. But I can tell there's a good story behind it. It's almost. The directing of it is told like someone loves it. Someone, the guy who made that loves that book, because there's a lot of written word in it. There's a lot of long diatribes, a lot of his thought. You know, when you do, this one, like when you translate a book to a film, and what's that? Dune, David Lynch's Dune. where he couldn't think how to do it, so he just puts their thoughts in like they do in a book where you go,
Yeah.
there's that in Into the Wild. There's that element of Into the Wild where there's a lot of his thoughts in it, and so it shows a great love of the book. Well, ironically, David Lynch never read it. But probably, I don't know, that was the worst example ever. I think of it.
Fantastic example. Yeah, well done.
I'm on fire tonight. What a wagger. But yeah, so you like the book? Is it worth a read? Even if I'm gonna.
Yeah, definitely. It's by a guy called John Krakauer. He's a famous
I know that.
outdoors writer. Wrote books like on. Do you remember there was a film out in the last sort of 5-6 years called Everest, and it recounted the Everest disaster at the end of the 90s. John Krakauer wrote a book about that.
There's a lot of glazed windows that were sold really badly.
Yeah. It was a scandal. You don't remember? It was a scandal.
Yeah, the glazed window Everest scandal.
People, do you know, dude, it was really bad. People got cold in winter. People got cold. One person got a cold. It was disastrous.
Not a flu though.
No, it wasn't a flu. No, it wasn't a flu. It wasn't a flu. It wasn't that serious. It was a scandal, but not a disaster.
So go on then, Phil. Before I give my
yeah, I think it's a good story, but yeah, it's been a while since I watched it, but I always preferred the music to the film.
I was going to say let's have a special shout out for that soundtrack, because that soundtrack sang by the singer of Pearl Jam. Johnny, you remember his name?
Yeah.
You remember him, Johnny? Duke.
I'm not telling you his name. I remember it.
Yeah, that's really
David
Copperfield. That was right, David Copperfield.
Yes, correct.
Lead singer.
Lead singer. So yeah, my review was that I remember that film being uplifting at times, but mainly there was. Do you know what? That film is memorable. That's something to give it. Like, not every film you don't have to like every film. You know what I mean? Like some films they're not enjoyable in a way. That film wasn't enjoyable, and the reason it was enjoyable because Emil Kirsch, I think it is, plays the main character, who is a dick. Like, he's just an out and out fucking knob jockey. Like, just if I met him, I'd be like, "What are you doing? Like, you've got everything, and you're going to go and live in the woods because you want to be in the woods." You know, like, have you read books? I've read a book in the library. It's like, what a moron, you know. And but that's the thing. He plays him so well that it's actually quite compelling in the way that he's quite stubborn. He's quite narrow-minded and he doesn't give a shit what anyone thinks. He wants to do it. But it makes it for quite an uncomfortable film. And again, I did this last few times about these things. I asked Andrew and Ian and Graham and Richard about these films, and one of the things I said, Graham, just like, he was such a knob, wasn't he? I was like, yeah, that's the thing you remember about that film, that he was such a knob, but in a way, like, it makes it stand out for me. That film stood out for me a lot, and I think the tragedy of his death,
film. A great knob film. Well done.
It was a great knob film. Massive knob movie. That's my review. Massive knob.
You kind of admire him for doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
But
Phil, there's that moment in the homeless shelter where, there's that moment, that's one that always sticks. There's a moment in the homeless shelter where she's like, you could just stop. You don't have to do this. You could just call, and he's a shelter. Do you remember this one? And he just kind of like looks at her, kind of, he thinks about it. He's like, no, I'm just going to walk. And he just walk. He's been homeless for days. He's been traveling for days. He's really tired. It's one night's rest, and she's like, here, look, and put you here, and put you here. He's like, no, I'm all right. And it is a real moment of like, fuck, the what's the phrase I'm looking for? The focus. You know, the focus.
Determination.
Driven. Get him, Johnny. Phil, sorry I interrupted you very rudely there.
No, that's cool, man. I obviously wasn't important because I can't remember a fucking word of what I was going to say.
Well, I'm sorry then. Sorry.
No, I think you just I don't know whether this is because I'd read the book beforehand or not, but because I knew what was going to happen at the end,
Yeah.
it all felt like it was building up to kind of disaster, really. It's almost like it was, and I don't know whether you got that, Paul. If you hadn't, you
I
didn't know what
already
was going to happen, or
I,
did you
I,
know?
I think because like as the movie, there was kind of one of those Titanic movie plots where they kind of put it out as like, you know, the tragic story of bloody,
Oh, okay, yeah.
you know.
But I think it even felt, even the music sort of felt like this wasn't going to end well. You know what I mean? It was kind of had that, it's all a lovely idea, and you really wish him well. You want him to make it almost, but he's not going to. And then, I mean, in many respects, it'd have been better if he'd been got by having a fight with a grizzly bear.
I know,
But
that bear at the end, yeah.
to go out with a bit of a whimper just because he ate the wrong plant, it's a bit disappointing, isn't it?
He wasn't a very fun guy at the end, though, to be honest, Phil.
No, he wasn't. So, I mean, we all saw what you did, Paul. It's not going to get any funnier.
What if I do the point? Okay, sorry.
So, I mean, yeah, scores on the doors.
Doors and the doors.
Johnny, you can vote now because you heard all about it. You don't need to watch
You're going to give it give it a holding 5 for the spreadsheet, otherwise my head.
Yeah, holding. Paul, can you put it in like a different colour?
I'll
So we know.
I'll tell you what, I'll share.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm all right, man.
I am, yeah. Can I give you a call back? Bye.
Right. Can you see that?
Yeah. I love the spreadsheet for this.
Right. So into the wild for Johnny, we'll give it a 5. We'll
Yeah.
give it a holding colour. What colour would you like, Johnny?
I'd like purple.
Purple. It's burgundy. Oh, purple. There we go. We'll give it a nice bold as well, so we really know. Right, Phil, are you ready to give us some marks then?
Yeah, I'm just going to speak them because doing the whole finger thing's boring.
No,
Six.
my name's Phil, and I don't want to do the finger thing.
No!
The finger thing is the only excitement, Phil.
Yes. Give it the old boring rubbish.
Right, well, okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. 3, 2, 1.
41.
You give it a foot. I can't see it, Phil. You're doing it below.
What are you doing?
You actually got a 6. Right, a 6. Okay, so 5. A 53. So really, Johnny, you didn't like that film. That was.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I base it all on reviews. That's my problem.
Yeah, you need to watch it, really, Johnny.
I will, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't care about this movie club.
To be fair, get hold of it now. I haven't watched it.
Well, I just don't think me and Paul have watched them all, and you're just not bloody committing. And it was your fucking idea. Anyway,
Wizard of Oz, yes.
The what?
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, will you crack us off on this one then, dude?
E.T. next. E.T.
Are we doing E.T.? Okay. Right. I watched E.T. I watched it with the kids this week. It was brilliant at school. It was fantastic. Really interesting watching it with them. They all watched it. They had lots of questions and couldn't quite work out what was going on most of the time because it wasn't quite fast enough and speedy enough for them. So whether it holds up to a young audience of today is a different matter.
Wow.
But
good insight from Johnny there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
He's had the spare 10 minutes from Into the Wild, and he's coming out with some mind benders. Carry on, Johnny.
I loved it though. I still really liked it. It still gave me
the only thing about you that's bent, Paul. Carry on, Johnny.
Still gave me fuzzy feelings when he flies off up into the air. and all bits that do well, it does well. I think the kids was perfect in it. But
Has Johnny gone funny?
redeems the film. She's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have I gone funny? Am I
You
back?
You did.
like me last week, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, you
no.
went funny for a bit.
Shedness of the whole
Yeah,
situation.
shedness. Shedness.
Yeah, like I say, I like Drew Barrymore. I like the kids in it. I think it works well. I think it's got clever. It's really clever how the adults are all absolutely terrifying until he dies, and then they all become children as well at the end, and they all remove their masks and all become real people from being these horrific things when you're seeing it with the kids.
I was going to mention the astronaut. That's one of the most terrifying things. I mean, the future is scary because of that. The way that ET represents that guy coming down the tunnel that's what's that? That's something else.
Someone,
man.
the biggest special effects.
Yeah, you can't go
They
boing.
are about 25 years.
You're kind of making boinging noises.
I am. That's the review.
Boing out of 10. Boing out of 10.
Can you hear me now? My one problem with it is the destruction of Star Wars.
What?
Whereby he is obviously E.T. lands and Elliot shows him 3 or 4 Star Wars figures. Very cool. This is Lando Calrissian. This is Walrus Face. I can't remember.
I've forgotten that bit.
Yeah.
And then he walks down the road and sees Yoda.
Yeah.
He goes, home, 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 home. Okay. In episode 2, Attack of the Clones, there's a spaceship in the Senate of
Senate. That's on the bottom right, yeah.
Yeah, of ETs. So, either Star Wars is all so completely Johnny. Oh, it doesn't. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Just too many 1,000,000-to-1 shots all in there.
What I'm going to say is, on the off chance that they meant it, I think.
No, I'm sorry.
I think they did it as a joke, and it's not meant that dead eyes.
It's backfired on them now massively. But thoroughly, and it stood up for me, and it was everything I remembered.
Well, can I ask? Seems that we always do the age, we don't always, but we like there's a few times we've brought up the when you watch the film and how you watch the film. How do you think your kids in the school would have rated it? I'm not saying you obviously asked them, but generally, what do you think they would have put it as? Like between 1 and 10, where
they would have been aiming 6s and 7s. I think they liked it, they enjoyed it, and we've watched a couple of. We watched the new Artemis Fowl. And
they've got Iron Man and stuff to listen to now, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They've got all that, and it's all fast and stuff, isn't it? But no, they enjoyed it. Have your kids?
No, not yet.
No,
I don't think.
I said to Michelle at the weekend we should sit down and watch it with them.
Mm.
I think they're 6. I think they'd just about deal with it now. Yeah.
There's a degree.
Arlo wouldn't deal with it.
No.
Mary and Matilda would. I don't think she'd handle the first few minutes in the garden shed.
Quite scary.
Well, it was quite scary, wasn't it?
Yeah,
you remember that bit?
Very scary.
Yeah,
Even I'll tell you what Steven Spielberg could do. Scares, that's Jaws scary.
Yeah.
But it really is. He's got the knack. He's still got the knack. Jurassic Park. Yeah.
But I tell you what, when we talked about Jurassic Park, how we said that Jurassic Park, massive film about dinosaurs, and the 2 tense moments came from climbing over a fence and sitting in a car.
Yeah.
Best moments in E.T. are actually the BMX scenes, and I can't remember the other one was that I sat and watched. It was quite tense, but had nothing to do with the aliens or alien or whatever was going on. And he's just got this ability to chuck in a scene that has nothing to do with really, and create this tension out of it, and you kind of forget that you should really only be tense when it's like the aliens or the dinosaurs or whatever. But it's clever. It's clever how he
Tom is a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Good, Mr. Pitchford.
Yeah,
Nice review, Johnny.
yeah, I've got nothing but fond memories of it. It's the same thing. I remember the slushy kiss with the last school, and that really stands out. That watching that as a young lad, you know, the pulse raced at that moment, and that was.
I'm not surprised. He was a good-looking young lad, wasn't he?
Yeah, but she's then the girl from Baywatch, Erica.
Yeah, it's Erica.
Oh, of course, yes, it is.
Erica Eleniak, and do you know how old she is now? She's about 70.
What?
She's really old. Yeah, she's really old.
70, Phil.
Something like 60s or 70s. Yeah.
She's not my mother.
Someone Google her age.
Hold
I
on,
want to know she's
I'm
70s.
just going to Google it while you're on. Let's have a look.
I'll just do my own review anyway. So
I
yeah,
think that would have put her about 30 in that film.
yeah. So
I would have put a 30.
I did watch that film about a year ago. So I didn't watch.
Okay, close. 50.
I'm nearly 50. Fuck off.
No, I was thinking of Vera Lynn.
Oh, right. Vera Lynn.
I got her age wrong because she's passed away at the age of 103.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I remember Vera Lynn and Baywatch. What a body. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Mitch Buchanan, he worked out, man. He worked out.
Yeah, so did Vera Lynn.
So did Vera Lynn.
So yeah, I remember. I know I'm only doing memories of this film, but it means a lot because there was a moment when I was in Middleton Avenue, which is my mum and dad's second house before they got the carpet shop, and I watched E.T. It was the second time I watched it, and I walked out of the living room, and my granddad was there, the old Navy boy. You know, he said, enjoy that. And he went, because obviously I've been transfixed by it, because I was always transfixed by films. That was my reputation. It was accurate. And I walked out, I was like, yeah, that was the second time I watched it. This time I didn't even cry. Because the end of that film, I'm not kidding. If I was to watch it now, I'd be like,
That's the thing about it. It builds you up because there's so many sort of moments of tension. You know, is his mum gonna pick up on him? You know, then they go out and do Halloween, and you know, that Halloween scene's brilliant.
The amount of fun they have. There's the amount of fun that I have while they're protecting him, and it's a great. What's the couple of books like the Stick of the Cave, or you know the
Stick of the Dump.
Stick of the Dump, Stick of the Cave, Chicken of the Cave. I don't know. And you know, just all those kind of like where Enid Blyton-esque like stories where they find or Studio Ghibli, name My Neighbor Totoro, where they find those little outcast characters. Anyway, no, it's I really like it. I've got nothing bad to say about E.T. I think the special effects aged a little bit. Like I said, I watched it about a year ago. But no, it's Steven Spielberg at his fullest power. So, between E.T. and Jurassic Park, I can't think of a wrong move that man ever made making a film. It just didn't happen. He just was like, oh, I'm just going to make an amazing 10 out of 10 film. All right, Steven. Boom, done.
Yeah, what do you think of Ready Player One?
Yeah, I'm saying between those two films, Ready Player One was good, but it wasn't Spielberg. You didn't watch it thinking you were watching Spielberg. You watched that thinking you were watching a guy imitating J.J. Abrams. You watched that thinking you were watching J.J. Abrams. And a bad sound love, so let's not get into that. Yeah. Right, that's my review of E.T. I loved it.
What's Phil doing?
He's put some headphones in because I'm swearing and I'm loud.
I'm just trying to
Do the
Kids
hoovering?
are asleep. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to. I'm going into the kitchen, and Shell's in the sitting room. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're fine.
Um, so I'm in the kitchen.
Hey,
Kitchen music. So
musical interlude.
I don't really have
Your
anything
turn.
else to
Go.
say about E.T. I think there's just well, it's a lovely film, isn't it? And it's always going to be formed by your memories of watching it when you're a kid, really. If
Yeah.
you're of our generation. So it wasn't for me, when he goes home. That's the upsetting part. It's when he's in the hospital, and it's all really frightening, isn't it? Because you don't understand, because they're all wearing the sort of like the hazmat suits and things like that, and and the flower.
Agents nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but he's got the flower. The flower is kind of his life force, isn't it?
Yeah,
There's that moment when the
his life force so it bloom. But then again, when you think about that moment when it blooms again, that's an incredible. See, I don't think of that as a sad moment because I know it's sad and Elliot, what's he called? The guy who he was in that thing with Brad Pitt. He was in law. He's not stopped acting.
Something annoying.
Anyway, when he's hammering on the casket, when he's hammering on the case and everything, that's a harrowing shit. But I think because I've seen it again when I watched it last, I was more thinking about the flower. I was just looking forward to the flower coming back because the music's amazing and everything when it does. So yeah, but it's a good point when you watch it the first time, Phil. That's the moment where you find out what kind of a soul you've got.
I got to say, how we said about Zimmer and his what was it? What was it we watched? Gladiator and what was the music? It was sat lifted directly
John
wherever.
From Pirates, yeah. No, we're on Gladiator.
Pirates
was lifted from Gladiator. Yeah.
But I mean, you just sit and listen to E.T. and it's the Star Wars music essentially. I'm sure John just went, I know. Oh crap! I didn't do my own work. Quickly,
are you joking? John Williams, literally Superman, Star Wars, Indiana Jones, and E.T. It's a fucking laugh.
Harry Potter, yeah. All of them.
Sweet.
It's like pulling out the same essay at university 3 times.
Johnny, do yourself a favor, right? I'll send you the message on this one so you can have yourself a laugh. Listen to a piece of classical music that I absolutely adore for the reasons that are going to become obvious in a minute. It's called It's by Holtz. It's called The Planet Suite. Right?
Oh, it's another one, isn't it? Oh, just listen to that. I've done that one.
Yeah. Well, that is essentially John Williams' trick bag. That might as well be called John Williams' trick bag. Bars, Darth Vader theme tune, Jupiter, Han Solo. it's just hilarious.
But he did, you're absolutely right. He did pull them off, didn't he, for sure?
Yeah.
Not literally, that would be rude. But still wonderfully emotive and fitting music for the type of film. What always gets me about E.T. is, the scene of that lovely cul-de-sac that they lived on, that lovely estate.
Yeah.
So many American films in the 80s seem to have that exact kind of estate. And do you remember a film called Poltergeist?
Yeah.
Sorry?
He was probably lived next door, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But it was that similar sort of American suburban sort of estate. I thought E.T. is a lovely film, but it's only I am like Paul. I'm interested to I was interested to hear what the kids think of it now, because it's quite a slow burner, isn't it? When compared to a lot of the modern films.
Is someone beating you, by the way? Is that you two or me?
No, it's my washing machine, mate. Some of the seminal moments in it are actually quite subtle. Like the scene where they like Halloween, and the scene where his mum almost finds him and he's in the cupboard, with all the soft toys. You know what I mean? There's some lovely bits.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've not got anything else to say really about E.T. I'm going to watch it with my. Oh, hi there. So,
Right.
yeah, I mean, I think, yeah, scores if you're ready.
Doors on the doors on the free tee. I think I've got. I know mine. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
3, 2, 1. 8. 8 all over. A good solid 80%, putting it in the region of Schindler's List, another Spielberg, Jurassic Park, another
Oh,
Spielberg. I know, yeah.
the irony.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, Johnny, you'll know this. Who directed Poltergeist? I was trying to think about this.
Steven Spielberg did.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah.
I thought so, because that feeling,
Yeah.
I just thought I'd be clever about that.
Yeah. Right. Except a lot, hasn't he, really?
So it's 7, and I'm going to go first.
Go for it.
I watched this the other day, and what a morbid film. I knew it would be, but like at the same time, I was still shocked at how far David Fincher went to make it so bleak. Like to every level, to the point where the fifth and sixth the fourth and fifth murders are like after the sloth one where he's like he's all skinny and bone and he lips up. This is like so. I think there's sorry for the language, but there's a prostitute who's killed by a guy with a phallic object. That
Yes.
why? Do you see what I mean? That doesn't rank as high as the other shit you've seen. You've been through so much shit to get to that point. You're like, yeah, then the prostitute. It's so bleak. Yeah. One of the things I liked about it was watching Brad Pitt evolve literally on camera. He started out acting in that like Thelma and Louise Brad Pitt, and near the end he was an actor almost. David Fincher made that man, like his career, whatever career he has because of the work he did on Seven. When he starts out in the first half of that film, he's like acting like a Brad Pitt guy. By the end of that, when it comes to do that bit, it's affecting. It genuinely is, and that scene still works. That's all I'm going to say about that. I didn't like the film as much as I thought I would, for how bleak it was, just for how nihilistic it was. It gave me nothing. It was like The Road. Is it The Road, Phil? Cormac McCarthy?
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
It was like that. It was like that. Or the new Last of Us game, fuck that shit as well. It was just, but powerful, really powerful. So yeah, and that's my review. Johnny?
Yeah, I think Johnny's asleep.
It's a film that I think I've owned it twice. Like I saw it at the cinema, and then I think we watched it. I'm pretty sure we must have watched it at university once, and I don't think I watched it again. Not because it isn't brilliant.
Johnny, I actually remember you refusing to watch it, and me being such a dark, morbid soul back in those days, I used to watch it a lot thinking I was getting something out. Yeah.
I just think it's a really, really difficult film to watch. And I think it's quite terrifying all the way through. And just that they are, the whole thing, they are out of control. They're not in control of it at all. And they never are in control of it right up to the very end. He is in complete control of the whole situation, which makes it terrifying. And I think, are you ever told where it is?
No.
What, the film?
There was great pains. I think it was filmed in a place they identified through landmarks and whatnot.
Yeah, but they never say where they are, do they? And they talk about it. Gwyneth Paltrow constantly talks about how she hates being there, and he talks about how he wants to come in and change it, but they never ever say where they are. And it's just one of those things. Sit there
I forgot about that element. Watching the whole thing, I forgot about it. Yeah,
that's what scares me.
Yeah.
about the whole thing.
I think you're right. I always assumed that it was some sort of industrial city like Detroit or something like that. But you're right. I don't think it actually ever explicitly says.
Yeah.
No.
What's more interesting, I remember Johnny making this point when we were 18, and he's still harping on about it. It's fucking big.
It's that slightly out of world shit that it could actually be real, but it might not be real, and just that people could be like that. They might be like ours, but they might not be, and it's just that slightly off keel to entire universe that scares the shit out of me. That's why I don't like that stupid show was it In the Line of Duty? Is it In Line of Duty on BBC One?
Or just Line of Duty.
Oh, is it Line of Duty? Is it Line of Duty? It scares the shit out of me because they all have this different accents and nobody ever tells you where they actually fucking are. So it's just like I'm just sitting there thinking, I can't cope with this because you haven't given me a fucking parameter or anything that I can actually focus on and work out what it is. So the whole thing is just messing with my head. And then they put his wife's head in the box. And that's my review.
So the GPS is less important than the wife's head being in the box.
No, that's what fucks it up. If I knew where the desert stuff, if I could work out where that was on someone's head, where we are, I could sort that out.
Like Gwyneth Paltrow's head, you'd be like, at least I know where it is. You know?
Yes, exactly. But I'd be able to put my finger on it. Then I could go. This is a box, but at least I know where I am.
No, I know.
Get over it.
No, well, it's that level of security you need, isn't it?
If you spun me around in circles with a blindfold on and put me in a field, so I did not know where I was, and then handed me Sarah's head in a box, that would scare the shit out of me. However, if you just took me into a field and handed me head in a box, that would upset me slightly, but at least I could get home.
I think that's well said, Johnny. I think.
Johnny.
I've
got nothing on that, Johnny.
But I don't see how anyone could ever challenge you on that, Johnny.
Exactly.
That.
Having said that, Morgan Freeman's pretty fucking incredible as well.
Oh, I'm the guy from Full Metal Jacket. This ain't even my desk.
Yeah.
So, honest to God, and I waited until I was about 23 or so. I remember working at Northern Electric. I was working late, so we're all working late. And the phone rang, and it wasn't my desk, and I actually did it. I just went, this ain't even my desk. And I ran.
Tickets in motorbikes.
And then they found me. Right. Phil, have you done your...
Like one of the War of the Worlds.
I was,
Any minute now, I'm going to see one of those things coming through your window. Wrapping you around your waist.
Creeping weeds. Yeah, that was it.
Your turn, Phil.
Your turn, Phil.
Yeah, what can you say about Seven, really?
I don't know.
I honestly, I think I absolutely think it's a wonderful film. It's kind of, it takes the sort of the serial killer genre onto a whole new level, doesn't it? It's actually really, it's kind of a horror film more than anything else. It doesn't, I don't think, and I was thinking about this earlier as I was cooking the kids' dinner. It's not often I do any prep for these calls, let's just be clear. But I was thinking, and I can't, other than the scene where they go into the desert, the whole fucking film, it's raining.
Yes.
It's raining.
Yeah.
It never stops raining.
No,
it is so dark. It's so grim.
He's got a problem with the geography, and you've got a problem with the weather.
No, I don't have a problem with it. I just think I think it's impeccably done as a film. It doesn't make pretty viewing, and it's grim, but it's just impeccably done, I think, as a film of what it is. And as I said, it takes the whole serial killer genre to an incredibly new and more frightening level. And I think the only time the sun's shining is actually when they go out into the desert, which kind of starts to poo-poo the idea that it might be Detroit, because I'm not aware of a desert around Detroit.
It's not. I think you've got to get away from finding a
Oh,
place. It
Doesn't
might,
make-
I think you're right. It's just Johnny's got me going now. I'm going to
no, it's
come
a
off
mix
this call.
of Detroit, New York,
Where was
Los
Seven?
Angeles. It's just an amalgamation of a shithole. But what I find more interesting about the sun shining at that point is that is when he's revelating them. That is when he's shining his light upon. That is when he's showing them. That's the
Yeah, but this is the point, isn't it? Because effectively he's acting as God, isn't he?
yeah.
It's
He's God in their
biblical.
story.
What he's doing is he's acting as God, and when it becomes for the grand reveal,
Yes.
the sun's shining, so it kind of like almost enforces the whole biblical aspect of it, and it's just brilliantly done. Morgan Freeman's terrific in it, and there's a little bit of a cliche, isn't there? The rookie naive cop going,
Not getting burnt like
replacing.
that though. Not getting burnt like that.
Replacing-
Cops sometimes get killed, but fuck me. That's harsh. That look on Brad Pitt's face when he's getting carted away in a police car, that's haunting, man. That's
Not just that, it's when Morgan Freeman opens the box and starts talking, telling the guy, "Don't let him up here, don't let him up here."
back
And,
away
and
now.
you're as the viewer, you're thinking, what the hell is happening here? And listen, it's very, very clever, isn't it? Isn't it not a clever film? Or maybe I'm just stupid and easily pleased.
Oh, brilliant.
The twist,
Do you remember
the twist to make his wife the sixth, to make his wife's killing the sixth deadly sin, and his killing then of the murderer the seventh. I mean, it hits you. It's like, good God. Yeah, absolutely. For all, I think, two of the best films I've ever watched are by David Fincher, and I really like The Game as well, as a film. So I mean, yeah, Seven. It's really grim, but for me, it's just wow. What
credit the wrong way.
amazing film. Doesn't mean you enjoy it, but you've got to admire it.
Yeah. What was that? Sorry, what was that, Johnny?
Then the credits go the wrong way.
Yes, that's right.
And go the screen.
I'm
Just
being funny, but you definitely haven't watched this film again. These are the same points he used to make in 1997.
stories. If they possibly could then drag their fingers down a blackboard and do other things, anything subliminal, fuck you up like the rain, like always being nighttime, didn't really matter if it was the middle of the day, it was just dark.
Right.
Like it not knowing where it is and everything. It's just there's little tiny things all the way through it.
No, because it's a horror film.
Yeah, exactly.
A horror film.
It's not really terrifying.
Yeah, it is. It's a horror film. It's great. It's
Actually,
it's incredibly bloody depressing.
It is very. Do you know? It's been interesting talking about this one because I have my marks made up, but now the more I've had time to think about it again, yeah, I've got a different mark now. Anyway, right, you ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, 3, 2, 1. So that's.
What are you? Oh,
What are you saying, Phil?
It's 10 for me.
10.
Yeah.
Johnny?
our 9 purely just on the fucked upness it does to my head.
So it's, do you know, wow. I know we've already established this, but the 2 highest films are David Fincher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also don't think it's quite the perfection that Fight Club is, and that's where it needs to be.
Yeah, you know, it's
Oh.
I think it is. I just think it's just.
The only difference. Sorry, Phil. What you, sorry.
No, I was just saying. I think it is. It's different. It's a different film.
Bleak.
Yeah.
Fight Club's bleak, but it's Fight Club's nihilistic, but it's cool.
There's a lot of other things as well, Fight Club, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's a lot of good music. There's a lot of comedy. Meatloaf. The whole sequence where you go out and have a fight and lose.
It also allows you to.
Yeah, trying to fight people as the priest with the horse pipe bit.
Right, 1 second, I'm going to beer.
Yeah, I will tell you what, 5-minute break, guys. I need a drink, so yeah.
Do it.
Oh,
Hello.
I need a wee now.
Bluetooth, waiting for device connecting.
That's good time.
Johnny, have you gone for some mood lighting?
I know, what the hell, man? That's
Mm.
some creepy shit.
You start stripping. Johnny.
I've got lots of little mood lights in that. Like, I like the separate light up there. The candle.
Didn't get any of that, but it looks nice.
Mood music as well.
That was for the mood lighting and in Chicago. Or was it Cleveland? It was Cleveland.
Pompeii.
Detroit. Where did Snake Plissken run the guns out of? For God's sake.
Cleveland.
Cleveland. What was I thinking? Detroit. What a wanker.
Used to be a gun runner back in Cleveland.
Right then, what's next? Oh, Johnny's gone. Why is he?
Yeah.
I don't know. He just had all that time.
Well, he's back.
He's back. Right. Wizard of Oz is next. I won't be a sec.
The Wizard of Oz. You keep cutting out, Johnny. Are you doing something?
Hang on, I've done something to my phone.
Right. Wizard of Oz. Who wants to go first?
I mean, Philip's turn.
I'll go first.
Go on then.
I think the only thing I'm really going to say about it is it not a bit of a cop out that it's all just a bloody dream?
It's not a dream.
It is a dream, isn't it?
It's not a dream.
She wakes up. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And then she wakes up. It was all a horrible dream. The wicked witch the wicked witch is the neighbour. You know, all the characters she's pulled from people who she's seen that day. The Scarecrow, the Lion. They're all live around her aunt's house. And
Is it not an alternate reality?
Same reality as Seven.
And where is it set?
And there's monkeys.
Where is it? Where is it? And Toto's head in the box at the end. Oh, what a twist!
What's in the
What a
box?
twist!
What's in the box?
What a twist! Seriously, it's great.
It's a twister. It's a twister.
It's so dark, isn't it? It's so dark, Wizard of Oz. I used to find the witch really frightening.
Oh, yeah.
I used to find her genuinely quite scary. And the little sort of flying monkeys, they're freaky little fuckers.
They are.
They are freaky little fuckers. It's a funny film for considering it's almost, you know, seemingly it's targeted at children. It's it's kind of grim. And I read the other day that she was drugged up. Judy Garland was drugged up for the whole of the film or
Yeah.
something.
Judy Garland was pretty much having hits most of her life.
Yeah.
Dude,
She
Once
was
Upon a Time in
really
Hollywood
good,
pointed
really, in that one, wasn't she?
all the shit you want to think about Hollywood is pretty much bang on. If you're a child star and you've got to be on form every day, you can't be like, you've got kids. Imagine an 8-year-old, you know, is tired one day, not going to work. There's the speed and, you know, there's the speed covered candy. They just want it to fucking work.
Yeah, well, it works for me. Yeah, you know, what can you say? It's all right, isn't it? You know, it's just the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, fair enough.
Right.
Next.
I'm gonna jump in and give my review because what I want is Johnny's film university review of this film. Because I remember you know exactly where I'm going with this. I still remember you literally ruining my childhood with and making me look at films in an entirely different way because it was like, what you know about Wizard of Oz Dark? And then you told me, I was like, oh, really? Do you remember this?
Probably not, no. Probably most of our conversation I was pissed at my head anyway.
I think I remember more of your film degree than you do.
I do. That's why do you think I stay in contact? It's just so that's why I stay in contact with my sister as well, so she can remember everything for me.
Yeah. I remember you buying it that first term at university. You bought it for your Christmas.
Yeah, you and Ben.
I did, didn't I?
Watch it. You and Ben gave me some horrible facts about it linked to a woman's menstrual cycle. That's what.
Oh, it isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Yes.
My point. Anyway, my coup de grace this week. But anyway, that film is brilliant. I don't like it that much. It's not my kind of film. It's got musical numbers in, so I'm already out. It's cheesy, childish, but there's a lot of it that I like. There's a lot of big themes in it that I really like the Oz himself, the Be Behind the Mirror, the big four characters, the lion, the Iron Man, and the Scarecrow, the Iron Guy, and the lion, and so on.
Good man, Paul. He's made a tin.
Yeah, thank you. I'm thinking of Robert Downey Jr. I'll stop thinking. It was great.
You got to be careful.
When
30 years ago, you would have got away with that.
Just saying.
Just 30 years ago, you would have got away with that, mate. Not these days.
Yeah,
that's lives matter.
Yeah, true enough, I was the only one who knew their fucking names 20 years ago.
Put them up. I got courage. Put them up.
Yes.
The lion. Yeah. The lion. Just in case you didn't get it.
I got it, Phil. It was very good. To be honest, those three guys, and not just Judy Garland herself, but those three guys are amazing. They capture the heart and soul when you're watching it. And I don't like musicals and everything, but if you put it on and my kids want to watch it, I'll watch it because they engage you. The scenes I don't like is with the Wicked Witch, and it's because you should. It's a bloody weirdly good movie. It's a weirdly good film. The Wicked Witch especially is good. The only thing I don't like is the Fall of the Yellow Road and that kind of like little twee stuff. But it all feeds into the world that it is. It's a one-off, and I like it. I respect it. That's what it is. I respect it because it's got pillars of storytelling that are really rich and stories that deserve to be told. It's just because it's a musical, it drops like a few marks for me, but it's a great film. That's my review.
I can't remember all of the shit I used to know about it, but I do vaguely remember that menstrual cycle, it all being about her growing up and becoming of age and all that sort of shit, I think, if I remember rightly. And that's what it all is, but the metaphors and all that crap for it. But actually, I've changed my stick on it because I've done it with the kids at school, and they've done Wizard of Oz, and we've done it based on the film and based on everything else. And I just think it was the special effects film of its time, wasn't it? Going from that black and white to that colour and smashing in the face colour that it comes up with as soon as they go from reality to to fantasy. I think I went through a stage of thinking it was absolutely shite, and then watched it again and again as I've got older and realised how good it actually is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Matilda made me not made me, but she's like, I want to watch it. I was like, I hate music. I respect it. It's not my kind of film, but I always, the bit where the fall asleep in the field, there was loads of little bits where I was like, that is good filmmaking. There's no way around it. Imagine watching that when cinema was that young. Sorry, Johnny, I've hijacked your review. Like that's what I remember thinking that. Like, imagine watching it when it come out.
Yeah, it'd be incredible. It's the film Star Wars
of its time. You know,
it's that ship coming over at the beginning of Star Wars.
Yeah, the Matrix bullet dodge. It's just a revolution. It's
all of it.
You know,
but it's a film of its time, and I think it still stands. I think what really stands what is really good at it, or what says how good quality is they've never ever been able to redo it. So we're talking however many, I don't know when it was made, 1940s, 50s, I don't know.
50s, I would have said.
Yeah, they've never done it. They've never managed to actually sit down and go, we could do a better version of it. And it doesn't matter that it's Amanda Suit being the lion and the Tin Man and whatever. It just plays so well, and so it grabs you. The songs are great in the sense that they're catchy and they're there in your head for the rest of however long. And brilliant. And is it a dream at the end? I don't know if it is or isn't. If you read the books, it isn't.
I think they deliberately used cast members not realising that such fan tropes would be ultra examined in the future.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be like, this would be interesting to make them because that's a parallel and you can have fun with that. But now people are like, you can't do that. If you're doing that makes it a dream. You know, like, do you know what I mean? I think it was that young in cinema. I believe that. I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I believe that cinema was just that young that it would be. I think they thought it would just be an interesting way to do a dream world parallel, but they wouldn't never do that now.
Yeah,
I don't think you're wrong, Paul, but I do think Dorothy says at the end, "Oh, it was just a dream." So,
yeah.
So I think that what suggests to me that it was a dream is that the film says it was a dream.
Yeah, there's elements of it that I think there's too much of a learning character arc in there to presume it to be just a dream. Phil, that's
yes.
Film. She learns too much from it to be just a dream. We are spending
exactly
time on Wizard of Oz. I did not see this. You see what I mean? I've got to respect it. There's pillars of storytelling about Wizard of Oz that you can't deny it. The older I get, the more I watch that film. Not that I ever want to watch it, but if it was to come on, I'd examine. I wouldn't watch it like Follow the Yellow Brick Road. I fucking hate that song. But I'd look at it like, this is interesting. Like, what are you telling me? What are the parables? What are the parallels? What can I get from this film? You're telling the audience that are not easy to just get. It's a very clever film. Very clever.
I think there's a shitload of history involved in it as well, isn't there? The story of cinema in that film. The way that's probably why it's set up. Why it's so fantastic. That is that they were still sets. They're humongously massive sets that they were filming on for scenes that last about 5 or 10 minutes and stuff. So just the building of land must have been incredible.
Yeah, yeah. Come on, guys, we've got to give marks. We've got one more film to do already, and then we'll. It's time for Phil's bedtime.
Nope, you're falling off the pen. Wait a minute.
Right, so Wizard of Oz.
That's my bedtime.
Are you all right, mate? You got 10 more minutes for Inglorious Bastards.
Oh yeah. Ready?
Right, ready. Do you know what? It's got one mark. Right, ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What have you gone, Johnny? You 6 or 7? You went with a 6. You moved it up one.
I did. I thought about it.
I've gone with an 8. Johnny gone with 7. So it's 8, 7, 6. There we go.
No, I went 7.
Did you? Sorry, Phil.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I think the key point is I'm not a massive fan of it, but I think it's very good.
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
Like, you know, even just talking through it there, it was said it a few times, so I'm repeating myself now. But like, just how much I respect the film. It's not how much I like it, but
There's something about it which pulls you in. It's weird. There's actually, and it still freaks me out.
Yeah.
Watching it freaks me out.
especially
But you
the
know, the
fucking
kids are
flying
watching it.
fucking monkeys.
It's not just that. There's something sinister about it, and all the way through it, it feels sinister. And I mean, Michelle and the kids were watching it about 6 weeks ago, and I walked in and I was like, and I sort of saw it was on, and it was just the whole, even the sets. They look so obviously sort of fake. They're kind of like nightmare. They're kind of like a set from a nightmare that you might encounter. Now, I don't know whether that was the intention, but I'm sure I've had dreams or I've had nightmares and I've seen sets like that. Like the woods and like the fields.
I think at some point movie sets became good enough to know the weird perspective you get. I had a really vivid dream. This is going off on what we don't really have time, but I had a really ridiculously vivid dream like 3 nights ago where the entire sky went a sort of sunset shade and these weird wireframe ships came spiraling across the clouds. So the graphics were muy bueno. It was good stuff. But at the same time, it looked like, in my memory of it, is it looking slightly not real, but in the dream, real. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I think. I think at some point, set designers actually got to know that level of human perception where we can fool them. We can just fool them by putting it like there-ish and not really. Like now, CGI is like, well, we can just do every fucking grass blade from now all the way to back to there. But yeah, sorry, I'm moving off on one. But yeah, The Dream.
I just think it's free. Essentially, a film about a young girl who gets lost, and she goes and finds a man, and this man says to her, "Right, well, I'll help you as long as you go and murder somebody, and then when you murder somebody, then I'll take you home in my big balloon." Actually, wait a second. I won't. I'll leave you here and let the nice lady.
You've got magic red bloody shoes.
It is fucking freaky. She is essentially sent off to murder somebody, and off she goes.
When she arrives, she kills someone.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she gets well, oops, sorry. I'll take your shoe.
I've killed someone. And
She eradicates the person that's trying to do her harm. There's got to be something in that, isn't there?
The witch isn't trying to do her harm. Where's the witch trying to
do?
It's trying to lure her to the dark side. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Wizard of Star Wars. Entirely different film.
Same film entirely, yes. Right, but we're on Inglorious Bastards.
Yeah, move on. You mentioned the stuff. What did you do? Right, come on. Right.
Oh, here comes the dick on a motorbike.
I thought it was a tripod. I thought it was the end of the world.
Right.
Where was War of the Worlds based? It's down south. It wasn't here, was it, Johnny?
What?
War of the Worlds, the original books in a small town. It was like Surrey or
Southern England.
Yeah, it's Surrey. Yeah.
Home counties, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Is it? Okay, sorry, yeah, idiot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but Kent's kind of a home county.
Oh, clever.
Yeah. No, it is. It's definitely Southern England, mate. Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go with Inglorious Bastards. I want to try and keep a little like the old time limit on. So Inglorious Bastards, the film when I realised that Quentin Tarantino was a little bit of a gifted wanker. That I'd had enough. I've had enough. He's gifted, but Jesus Christ, stop talking. Stop talking. Oh, it's a war film without any war. It's, I mean, I don't, like, if you tell me the Quentin Tarantino's going to make a war film, I'm like, but like, I was that excited I went into Bat Supersonic Screech, and you get no more, and you get talking. You get a card scene with 2 beers. 2 beers, not one. It's like, fuck! They say Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Oh Christ! So many of his films. From a certain point, so many of his films, I want to scream into his face. I get it. You're talented. What was the cowboy one? Both of them.
Oh, there's 7. Was
Hateful
it 7?
Eight.
8 for 8. That's it.
I lasted 20 minutes. I turned it off. I've never watched it. I watched a YouTube video. I get the plot from it, and that was all I wanted to do. I couldn't handle it.
You just minutes. There's a 20-minute film there. There's a 20-minute film in every Quentin Tarantino film, which is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, I watched the other 2.5 hours of it as well.
Me and Andrew were talking about Once Upon a Time in the day. Sorry, Johnny. You paused because what were you saying? Sorry.
No, I paused. I stopped. I don't think it was a pause. I stopped.
Yeah.
Because that's what Quentin Tarantino doesn't do.
Yeah. Me and Andrew were talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood when we came out, and it was funny because we were both dedicated to the task. Like, we were so angry about it, and to be honest, I wish we'd followed up on it. Take that film, rip it, put it into an editable format, and just take out every single moment where the camera's in the back following them around. Have you watched the film, guys?
Yeah.
No, I've not seen it.
Phil, it's one of the best films I've ever seen, while also, like Inglorious Bastards and everything else the guy's done,
The worst. Yeah.
Rating films I've ever seen. It's like Jackie was a great litmus test for it. She was like, that was a great film, but I hated it. Like, he has a knack of wanting to turn people. I will never watch any of his films again. He has the ability to make films, if he wants to, that I'd watch every other day, because he's got that ability. But it's like he wants to poke you in the eye, or like I don't know, like, why would you do this? Make good films that are good. I don't get it. I don't get his mindset, but at the same time, he's a fucking genius. But this film was the first one when I realised it. It's got some great scenes in it, but it's not my favourite Quentin Tarantino, and it's not my favourite film by a long shot.
I just wonder whether he's showing off a little bit sometimes, isn't he? I'll go next if that's all right, Johnny. I think the problem I have with Inglorious Bastards is it's just a load. It's a load of individual, separate little films, kind of montaged together. So it's all like, effectively, it's just like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5. And they've all, and some of the acts are brilliant. Some of them are, some of the scenes are absolutely genius. For me, I think the scene with Christoph Waltz and Liv Schreiber at the start, one of your talky ones, admittedly. And he's going on about the mill.
That's not him.
Sorry?
That's not Liv Schreiber. It looks like it, but it's not him.
Okay, well, whoever it is, then in the first scene when he
goes out and he looks like him, and he stood out, and he only did a few bit parts, and I was watching him because sorry to jump in, but yeah, you're right. There's Christoph Waltz scene. There's moments in every one of his films that are so like, God, this is the best film. This is the best scene I've seen for ages. Never the best film. Like, just put it together.
No.
He can make the best films we've ever seen in our lives if he just stopped being a dick. And it pisses me off. Sorry, Phil. I hijacked the review, but it pisses me off.
With the same review.
Can I have my go now?
Sorry.
Do you want to do Johnny's as well?
Sorry.
So no, it's fine. So whoever it is, whether it's Liv Schreiber or not, that scene he's going to get the Dreyfuses or whatever they're called.
Don't Liv Schreiber, Phil. Don't Liv Schreiber.
Not Liv Schreiber, but the person who's like
Don't Liv Schreiber, Phil. It's not. Don't say him off again.
Well, anyway, seeing as we're at 10 o'clock and half of my time's been taken up by other people's comments, I'll say, there's some awesome scenes in it. There's that brilliant scene in the cafe as well with the where they have the kuchen, the cake. The strudel. That's like really tense. The scene with all the scenes with Christoph Waltz are great. But then some of the scenes at the end are just bloody stupid. Like I think like the cinema burning down scene was just all gets a bit daft. The scene with Michael Fassbender in and the shootout in the when he's pretending to be a Nazi. What Tarantino does is he does brilliant acts. You know, Act 1, brilliant. Act 2, not so good. Act 3, tremendous. Act 4, 5, 6, you can forget about. Act 7, 8, 9 are all great. You know, they're all like so many individual films, and it's like he hit on a format quite early on in his career that sort of was different and kind of showed off his talents. And it's almost like he never really he's not really tried anything different in many respects. So I'd agree with Paul. It's imperfect. It's not my favourite Tarantino film, but there's some brilliant scenes in it, some brilliant acts in it, held up by some very strong performances, mainly Christoph Waltz. And relax.
Sorry about that. Just
No, I'm only joking, dude. Wanker. Johnny.
There's not a large amount to say with that, is it? I mean, Paul nailed it. It's a brilliant film. It's a brilliant film that doesn't have the best bits in it, which throw me completely. That you never actually. So it tells you about these fantastic, inglorious bastards that have gone around killing all these people, blah 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 blah. And then you see the scene that is closest to them actually doing what they're doing is the bit when they've already done it. And they're talking to them outside the cave bit, and you're thinking, I want to see the hour before this. That's what I want to see. Yeah, the actual bit where you're being an inglorious bastard. So I just come out of there thinking, don't get me wrong, I think you're quite right. I think it feels right that the opening scene, anything with Christopher Waltz, is it? Yeah. Especially goes calms it and then dives over the room and strangles her is just the difference in the calmness and then that extreme violence, and that is actually what exceptionally he takes you from this relative calmness to just extreme violence, which is just really smashes you in the face. And he does that in just every film that he does. It's quite odd, and I always I don't understand why I actually am shocked by sometimes the level of violence he gets to, as he seems to do it in every film he does it in. But yeah, I just think it's Emperor's New Clothes. I kind of come out at the end of it going, am I meant to think that was amazing? Was it amazing?
Nice.
And I did that exact thing as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I came out of it going, I think it was amazing. No, it was shit. I think it was amazing. Wait a minute. No, it was utter shit. No, it was absolutely incredible. And I did the same thing with Inglorious Bastards. You just sit there and you go,
yeah.
What?
But the thing is, he's capable of making a film. I mean, we know he's made Pulp Fiction. We know he's made Reservoir Dogs. He's capable of delivering. He's capable of doing a film that would define a generation. I think if someone could just tell him how to cut away the chaff, like Kill Bill 1. Christ, he made Kill Bill 1, Reservoir Dogs, and Pulp Fiction. This is one director. They haven't come up in this list yet. And I'm telling you, the scores are going to destroy David Fincher, for me, personally. Like, but yeah, Inglorious Bastards. That was when he started to show signs of his ego, I think, Phil. That's what it is, isn't it? It's the Emperor's New Clothes. Yeah.
I think so. It's almost such a shame. But I think part of the confusion you get with the films is because some scenes are just impeccable.
Yeah.
Some bits are impeccable.
As you said,
and, a lot of them are, but then they just don't quite deliver.
Well, they deliver, those scenes deliver, but then
those scenes do, but not the film as a package, not the film as an
missing the other scenes.
Yeah, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood's got to be the definitive example. I mean, I know you haven't watched the film, but honestly, just to save you the time, I think roughly, Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's a 2-hour film, I don't know if it is or not, but let's say if it's a 2-hour film, in that case, I think I could clip off 1 hour and 10 minutes of that just easy and make a good film. And
Yeah.
there's no way
Hey,
anyone, including Quentin Tarantino, could convince me otherwise, because that hour and 10 minutes is watching people walk, it's
yeah.
watching people drive, and it doesn't establish a character, it establishes a mood, which is established through his scenes that are slow anyway. And again, when we were on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and like, I'm going to try not to give it away, because I would watch it, because there's more, like, as scenes go, it's got most multi-layered Oscar. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio.
He was a film student, it felt. That's what I felt with it, a large amount of it. It wasn't there for what he... I mean, I always felt that what he stood for was he wanted to bring back cinema, didn't he? He wanted to bring, like, his classic cinema tales and his classic cinema stories. And then he seemed to have pulled away, and almost he wanted to create with that a film that was for people to study almost, rather than anything else.
Well, I think the type of films he likes are these ones where they've got long, languid views. There's films in the 70s like Bullet and things like that, like these long where there's nothing much going on. He likes these garbage house movies where there's not much going on. That's fair enough. Like, you know, like that's what you like, but it's not perfect. You know what I mean? Like, and he's capable of. The frustrating thing is, he's capable of making films that could fucking blow everyone away. Every one of his last 3 or 4 films with just a bit of clipping. But then again, I'm seeing all of this, and I admire him, because you let a studio near work, you get bullshit. You know, you get all the SJW lefty stuff that I get pissed off with every day. But I get pissed off with people coming in and saying, make that to your drive. What?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you if you want. I mean, you know. But anyway, I like his drive. I like the fact that he's making them to his own mind, and in a way, he's an auteur. I respect it, but it's more than anything. It's frustrating, because you get scenes like I say in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Leonardo DiCaprio, when you do make the time to watch it, Phil, trying to put you off it. It's like all these other films lately, slow, there's missed scenes, but there's moments of like, what?
You don't get cool Brad Pitt in it. You do not get cooler than Brad Pitt.
You don't get cooler than Brad Pitt.
Cooler than Brad Pitt.
And you don't get as intense as Leonardo DiCaprio acting his last scene in a last gasp, I need my career shit.
Yeah.
You know that bit I'm on about doing the hostage scene?
Yeah.
That is on so many levels. That's complex performance. That's a complex performance. That's all I'd say. But yeah, but Inglorious Bastards is probably the example I'd use. That's the one I'd point the finger at and go, that was the beginning of him going up his own arse. Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, yeah, we need to go. Sorry, guys. Right. Waited on there. Right, ready? A 3, a 2, a 1. 6, 7, 7. 6, 6, 7, 7. Shut up, John.
Who gave it 7?
Phil.
All right, John, know what's next?
Right, go on then, Johnny.
All right. Might have to turn the big light on.
Good God. 21, 22, 23, 24. Right, go, man, go.
I'm going.
We'll go quicker like than that.
Oh.
Tennis racket, family, money, sex, graves, cars and food and wine, wedding, jail. I've ruined it. I've ruined it by describing the pictures.
Right, we'll come back to that in a second.
Right.
Some strange sex scenes in that.
They're in love. She dies. There's a microscope. Then there's a judge inquiry about it. And it finds out that the microwave was dead. The microwave. The microwave. No.
Phil, go on.
Hmm.
Lorenzo's
Lorenzo's oil. Lorenzo's oil. I'm not watching
might
the
not be. I don't know.
oil. I'm not watching Lorenzo's oil. Fuck off.
Money and
Johnny, are you telling me that film was Lorenzo's oil?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
All right, cool. I'm not watching it. Pew!
Ring to volcano.
Ah, get in. Can I watch all of them? Is that an excuse?
Nice one.
All of them?
You might have to start now, Paul, if you want to get them done in 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm on it, baby.
All three of them. Okay. Oh, people. We've got the two extremes. We've had one extreme and now we have the other. Oh, come on.
Men in Black.
Oh,
No.
Can't move it closer, Johnny.
It's getting closer and keeping everything in it.
Oh, that. Oh yes, get in, get in. Oh, the best one is best work. Get in.
Yeah.
I want for that.
After poor work is best work. Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Then a classic that I don't think I've ever watched all the way through.
I don't think I've watched it all the way through either.
Dun, 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 dun.
You know what? That would be nice. I think I have watched it once. All right, so let me get these down, Johnny. Shout them out.
Chariots of Fire.
Chariots
of Fire. Pulp Fiction.
Right, no, Johnny, shout them out in order.
Lord of.
Well, Johnny.
All right. I'm going to have to actually say what at first.
Yeah, because you
I
can't
have to look at the answers.
because otherwise it's all. There's 9 hours of cinema.
Oh.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh no, it's not thinking. It's Philadelphia, number 3. So number 1 is Match Point by Woody Allen.
What?
Right.
I've never seen.
I don't want to watch that.
I've seen it. Is that the one with
Nice
Paul
there.
Bettany and Kirsten
No,
Dunst?
it's not. That's Wimbledon. You think?
No,
Wimbledon.
Wimbledon. I think Match
No,
Point might
fine.
be
Well,
a bit better.
I'm not watching Match
I don't
Point.
watch Wimbledon the Match Point, to be honest. But there you go.
Yeah,
I wonder whether
you
the
gotta
other
watch
one
it,
was
it's there.
Philadelphia.
Philly. Yes, you have to watch it. Then Philadelphia. I haven't seen Philadelphia in a long time. I quite fancy that actually.
Oh, I have, and it's
Yeah. Then it.
with the
Yeah.
with
The
the
Rings 1 to 3.
Phil. How do you spell Philadelphia? You'd know.
PH.
Just put
Right.
Phil. Philadelphia.
Delphia.
Right, what's next?
Just put Phil.
Lord of the Rings 1 to 3.
Right, I'm not being funny, guys, but can we just have a...
Scrap Match Point. Do you want to scrap Match Point and leave Lord of the Rings in? Or no, I
Yes.
think we should. No, I think we should scrap it. I don't like
I'm
Woody
not,
Allen.
I'm not going to watch. I don't dislike Woody Allen, but I'm not going to watch Match Point.
Yeah, I'm not
No,
going to...
I don't like Woody Allen. I'm saying I don't like Woody Allen. And I want to watch Match Point. No. Okay, but I do want to watch Philadelphia. Lord of the Rings, try and watch some of those. And then it is Chariots of Fire.
I'll put that down as 2 films because it's, big. Right?
Chariots of Fire and Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
That's it. Good to go.
Do we have to watch Chariots of Fire as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what we just said. That was...
Can't I just listen to the song?
No, you
I just
can't
listen
just.
to the song. I just listen to the track because it's like Wuthering Heights. You don't need to read the book. You just need to listen to the song, and you know what's happened.
Phil,
I got an A in English literature just from listening to the Kate Bush song of Wuthering Heights. I don't.
I thought you were saying Kate Bush there. I was like, what's going on?
He's got that wrong.
Kathy, come home. All right, then, you beautiful bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's working
Guys.
to Inglorious. See you later, gentlemen. Been lovely talking to you. Thank you very much.
I'm loving
As
this.
always, guys, love you. Take it easy.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yourselves.